Well, even though we don't have our usual Tuesday night coverage of the OMSRL Cup Series, there's always events going on all across the iRacing platform. One such event we are covering this afternoon as we get set to get down and dirty in Lakeland, Florida. Welcome to the defunct USA International Speedway and to the Speed Winter Heat Recruitment Race. My name is Lorenzo, bringing you all of racing action from start to finish from this 110-lap race around this absolutely legendary short track. Every racer that has run this thing on the iRacing service has gone through at one point or another on the oval side throughout the rookie categories, and we are getting set to come on out swinging with a absolutely packed event this afternoon, with over 30 cars going to be attempting to qualify to get their way into the show. We had about 42, 43 register, but that number has since dropped off quite dramatically from the get-go as quite a few drivers like Dalton Powell, Jimmy McAvoy, Aldo Knoll, Patrick Smith, Mike Neeson, and more have all taken the bow out of competition this afternoon, leaving about, I would say about 30 even, taking the show here this afternoon. And this race, of course, a recruitment race for Speed's Tuesday night championship, not for their Thursday series. Of course, that championship not covered on Green Flag TV due to the conflict with OMSRL, but hey, they're not around, so we get to take a trip down and see what things are like for the Speed Cup Series on Tuesday nights. Right now, a good number of cars are still out there trying to qualify. You have 4 attempts of trying to put qualifying laps down here this afternoon, and that does make it relatively interesting to try to see who's going to get in where. Right now, 29 out of 30 have put down laps so far here this afternoon. We are running mini stocks on this Tuesday afternoon, and that, of course, is going to throw up challenges of its own. You see, this track has already been weathered in quite significantly over the course of a 45-minute practice session. Now, the track is going to be given a complete rework for racing action here this afternoon, which that should leave things looking a little bit interesting to see how this race is going to pan on out. Take a look at your number 1 qualifier so far, Blake Murray, ripping around the middle line there through turns 1 and 2 as he fights his way to the back straightaway with that number 86 entry. Driving in steadily into turn numbers 3 and 4, opting for the low line. Lap 3 of 4. What does he have for this field? And it is looking like that will be of no improvement. He's already a 10th and a half up on the rest of the field, so I'd be a bit surprised if this car was anywhere near the back of the field once qualifying comes to a close. Zach Hinson just coming to the close of his qualifying effort as he'll cross the start-finish line. It goes into the number 15 position. What about Brandon Bolin working his way across the stripe in that number 37 entry? He will improve up to the number 5 spot, which bumps Sammy Davis down to 6th. Meanwhile, Dalton Powell now the last car out there that is trying to qualify with less than 60 seconds on the clock. Running that 4 performance number 7 entry, gets a little bit caught up on the cushion there on the high side of 3 and 4. Diamonds it in down low. He'll take a bit of a ride for the next 3/4 of a lap or so with Dalton Powell's number 7 entry for Highline Motorsports. Ripping the high side down the back chute. Gets up to about 100 miles an hour, drives it in deep into 3 and 4, up into the outside wall. That will invalidate his final qualifying lap, and that will bring qualifying to a close here this afternoon. So with all that said and done, sounds like we are just about ready to kick things off to see how things are going to pan on out for us here on this Tuesday afternoon. 30 cars have qualified, and 30 will now get set to race it out to see who will take the W for the Speed Winter Heat Recruitment Race. Starting on pole position this afternoon, you got none other than newcomer Blake Murray out of the Carolinas alongside Dirt Warrior Racing's Douglas Stewart. Almost a 10th and a half, though, off the pace. Michigan native Jeffrey Town starts up at the number 3 position alongside Highline Motorsports driver Kyle Holden. Brandon Bolin from the Carolinas will start in the number 5 spot alongside Texas driver Sammy Davis. Chris Herrera out of Georgia will start in the number 7 spot alongside Stephen Gibson. Matt Schlosser for Interstellar SRV starting up in the number 9 position alongside Max Graphics Racing's Martin Plout. Andrew Rutherford out of Michigan starts in the number 11 position alongside Highline Motorsports driver Ethan Amberg. Darrell Dillon from the Carolinas starts in the 13th place spot with Georgia's Benjamin Crook started in 14th. Zach Hinson for Rusty Motorsports starts at the number 15 spot alongside Zachary Cox for Highline Motorsports. Logan Dinsmore of Texas starts in 17th alongside Indiana native Colton Easterday. Moving down to close out row number 10, it is the Golden Octopus Motorsports driver of Stephen Kirby alongside Highland Motorsports driver Dalton Powell. MGR's Stan Hausman starts in 21st alongside Riley Brainer from the Midwest. Stacy Hunter from Texas starts in 23rd alongside Dustin Skinner out of New York. And then Brent Scott, home track hero here this afternoon, out of Florida, but a second off the pace. He starts 25th alongside Highland Motorsports driver Sedarius Days. Mark McFadden for Jabba Motorsports starts 27th. Speed Thursday night Speed Cup Series regular alongside Michigan's Nicholas Hard. DJ Oxford, also out of Michigan, starts at the 29th spot alongside TJOM driver Zach Williams. And now again, the drivers that are not in the session but have been qualifying nonetheless, and this is how they would line on up. With Tim Branson, Ryan Newman, he is going to be starting from the grid this afternoon. Ryan Newman, Patrick Smith, Lee Bedsall, Noah Garner, Wesley Newell, Nicholas Mull, Levi Knupp, Andrew Alverson, Micah Netishin, Jimmy McAvoy, Aldo Knoll, and then what was set to close out the back of the field would be Caleb Branham. So drivers are now making their way out onto the racetrack. There will be cautions in play for this afternoon. Up to 3 overtime attempts. Going to make this one heck of a race to behold. It's going to be a wild show here this afternoon. And no doubt everyone is ready to give it a shot to see what they've got in store on this absolutely beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Two pace laps underway now before we go to full green flag racing action. We will, of course, round the 4th of those turns this time by USA International Speedway, a good 0.8 miles in length. It is not the shortest of tracks by any stretch of the means. And that always gives this place a very unique challenge, whether you be running on the asphalt layout or the dirt layout, but the dirt layout especially so. Luckily for these drivers, we're not running sprint cars. We're running mini stocks this afternoon, and that is going to be, I think, a big help in trying to get these guys sorted. Cautions going to be plentiful. Fuel run anticipated to be right about 65 to 70 laps. That is, of course, taking the gamble that we get ourselves with a pretty long green flag run-in. We're happy that you're joining us here on Tuesday night. The iRacing Pace Truck is into pit road in the hands of Blake Murray. He jumps on the valve pedal. It's go, go, go from Lakeland. Caution flag comes out before we can get one lap of green flag racing in. No surprises here on this one. The spin comes from Mark McFadden, Ryan Newman, possibly Brainer, and Easterday. Also having problems up in turn number 4. Look out! As Ryan Newman comes sliding in way late. And yellow flag is out for the first time tonight. This is what happened to Mark McFadden and Ryan Newman. This is coming on down into turn numbers 1 and 2. As the 69 gets hung up on the cushion, the 22 spins around, nearly tipped over. A good job on him to hang on. And then this was what happened to Brainer and Colton Easterday. Brainer sent it in, firewall deep, tips the side of Easterday, and around goes the both of them. So 2 relatively harmless spins, 1 up in 1 and 2, 1 in 3 and 4, and then Ryan Newman just comes in out of nowhere here in the middle of all of this, and yikes, has to lock up the binders. did a fine job, though, on getting this show underneath him. Blake Murray currently leading the way. Douglas Stewart just alongside him, and they are not quite at 1 to green yet. We're going to make sure we get a little bit of caution flag running in here under this one. But yeah, under the yellow flag for the first time of what is bound to be many this afternoon. Would not be surprised if we were escalating things up into 10 plus before the night is over, when you get 30 mini stocks of drivers that have never raced against each other before on a proper dirt track as well. Lights go out, we'll go green flag racing this time by. Blake Murray and Douglas Stewart line it up 1-2, either side of each other. Behind them, you get a bit of a Steve Park, tribute paint scheme with that Pennzoil number 1. That's Jeffrey Town lining it up alongside Kyle Holden. So the field working into turn numbers 3 and 4. Pace truck will make its dive into pit road. This time by through that opening in the wall. Green flags out. We'll try it again. Underway once more from USA International Speedway. A good getaway from Blake Murray, head of the field. The rest of the pack slicing and dicing behind, trying to find some momentum to work for one another. Right now, it's a difficult thing to work with, though. Drivers are still trying to sort themselves out. Double file, deeper in the field. Ryan Newman's gone around along with Nicholas Hard down to the back of the field, looking for 3 wide coming through turns 3 and 4. Multiple rows deep in this pack. Looking like the 9 car is going to be forced to back out from the middle line. We do get a lap in this time. Matt Schlosser struggling with connection difficulties as you see him kind of blinking in and tumbling up and down through the field. Oh, trouble back straightaway. Schlosser turn, gets into the inside wall. Yellow flag comes out. This one for the Old Mother Brewing Co. number 400 entry. Blake Murray still leading the way with his number 83 car. And this caution comes about as a result of Matt Schlosser blinking in and just got sandwiched in. Nowhere for cars to go. That was the 3, I think, of Stephen Gibson Jr. that turned that 400 car pretty hard into the inside wall. That is not a small hit by any stretch of the means. Right on board here with Schlosser. Yeah, not the lightest of hits. And then earlier on, this is what happened to Nicholas Hard and Ryan Newman. 3 wide coming down to turn number 1. Oh, the 39 car up to the high side, but it's the 15 that just comes back down and drifts across the nose of the 30, sending them both around. And then further down the line before the yellow flag came out, this was DJ Oxford. And looking, yeah, this is just technical problems for the 24 car, starting to keep that car in the mortal plane. So Murray, Stewart, Town, Holden, and Davis bringing out the top 5 as it stands. Lights are out aboard the iRacing Pace truck. We'll go double file and get set to get back to it. We'll go green on lap 10 of 110. Pace truck down into the pit road. Here we go, back to the green flag. Murray jumps in. We are back to racing. Looking all ready for 3 wide, coming down in the turn number 1, deeper in the field. The 81 caught in the middle of the 7 up top, the 8 down low. Numbers not matching cars. You're looking at Daryl Dillon, I believe, and that 81 Bucky's machine scored as the 19 up on the racetrack. Still 3 abreast coming off of turn numbers 3 and 4. They're going to get it relatively single filed out. Battles on for the number 2 spot. You got Douglas Stewart getting around Jeffrey Town. Kyle Holden standing just in the rear. Nicholas Hart has gone around again to the back of the field. We'll keep eyes up front, though, on some of these side-by-sides. And, well, now we got a problem. The 26 car around on the back straightaway. And that is Stephen Kirby that is stopped. And that's not the direction you want to be facing. This is Nicholas Hart's incident. 3 wide, sent it up the inside. Cleared himself across the nose of the 25 entry and just got tipped, hard hit into the inside wall, and he ended up taking the toe to pit road. And then this is what happened to Stephen Kirby. This is on the backstretch. Drifted across the nose of the Century Auto Parts number 3 and right rear hooked. Whoa, boy, up on 2 wheels. And nearly going over. Give another look. Look at how high this car gets up here on 2 wheels. And, that car goes over much further. It could have gone barrel rolling down the back straightaway. Very lucky that Mustang Fox body settled down to earth. It's also lucky that nobody hit him. That is a terrifying sight to see, just cars facing you while you're staring down the field coming up on you. Take it right on board. A little bit too much of a pinch there, I reckon. And this is a nervy thing to see when you're on a dirt track. Jeez. Potentially we've had another problem. This one would be under caution with Jeffrey Town, Andrew Rutherford, and Daryl Dillon. This is on the back straightaway? No, just a few cars pulling it down to the inside, calling it quits for the afternoon. So we're going to be down several. '83 car, Blake Murray leading us back to the green flag. Restart number 4. 1 car doesn't go. Pulling to the inside as Kyle Holden didn't get a good jump at all. Everyone else fanning out. Contact. Holden gets into it with one of the contenders up there. Now we got 3 wide. Looking almost for 4 down the back straightaway. Cox, Newman, McFadden all goes spinning, and that is going to bring out a yellow flag. They're going to wave that off, I think. Boy, that was a wild restart, though, as Kyle Holden didn't go. That stacked up the whole field. Check out what happened to Cox, Newman, and McFadden. Oh, boy. No, that was Zachary Cox, who just got tipped around, and then all 3 of them sent sliding. Take another look at the green flag, and you'll try to get a run on board with Kyle Holden here. And look at what happens with the 59 car. Just didn't go. I think he missed a shift. They did go 4 wide for a brief moment off of the restart there. And a shot to the shorts at the 14 to the 3, and then that sends everybody scrambling as they hit the back straightaway. How this was not a caution, I will never know. They did a great job on keeping that together. It's just a shame that they couldn't keep it sorted down to the very tail of the field. Not seeing anything else that would have brought the yellow flag out other than that 3-car melee down in 1 and 2. Sammy Davis pulling up alongside the two front runners, and looking like Douglas Stewart may have lost the lead off of that restart, or at the very least could be picking the outside for the restart on this one. In fact, Douglas Stewart did take the lead off of the last restart. Yellow flag number 4, no surprise here. We'll drive into turn number 1. Lights are out. We are ready to go. Back to green flag racing action. Early launch from Douglas immediately clears up the nose of Blake Murray as they get down to turn 1, not trying to leave any openings here for Murray to try to get back down the inside. We're double file looking for 3 as we come down the back chute. 3 wide now with the 81, the 3, and the 8 all tucked up under a blanket. Martin Plute up top. Then you got Stephen Gibson Jr. You've also got one Logan Dinsmore in the fray. Bit more 3 abreast, deeper in the field. The further back you go, the more common of an appearance it seems to be. Matt Schlosser on that recovery drive to bring out yellow flag number 1. Screams the inside of the 9 and the 7. He'll pick up, oh, look out, the 25 hung up on the top of the 71 there of Stacy Hunter. That's Colton Easterday. Put into the outside wall. He'll keep it rolling, and just like that, we're now on our longest green flag run of the night. Look at Blake Murray sending it to the inside of Douglas Stewart, trying to pick up a spot on the number 18. The 40 car hunting for the bottom lane. Can't find an in. Had one chance. He may have squandered it. He'll get another one, though, as we get another caution flag. And this, oh, we got one up and over on the back straightaway. Riley Brainer up into the air in a big way on the back chute. Taking a look back, what's happened here to that 36 car? This may have started with Matt Schlosser and Dustin Skinner Jr. 36 car coming onto the back chute. At full song, Schlosser's already around. And then, boom, nails the side of the 69. Tipped upside down in a huge way. That is a tremendous hit there for Riley Brainer. That will no doubt look to put him potentially down and out of the race. This is going to be at speed. Matt Schlosser gets it to the door of the 69 car. Just loops it around, and then here comes Brainer. Hard hit into the wall, upside down. That is unbelievable. Huge ride there for Brainer. This is going to be the look with Schlosser. Try to get a look on what else happened here. And you see the 36 car up and over, and oh boy, the 4 car caught a piece as well. That's just a lot of not so niceness. This is going to be on board with Brainer. Try to power through, wasn't happening. Gets flipped over on a violent impact. So that 69 car is starting to go around, just overcorrected, gets up, and then huge hit. Look at how high the back end gets off the ground. Almost flipped over top of that 69 car of Dustin Skinner Jr. We're going to get set to go back to green flag racing here. Coming around through 3 and 4, ready to go at it again. So the 3, the 40, the 17, the 81, the 3, and, well, the 3. Gibson, and then, of course, Brent Scott, all under a blanket. Green flag back up and in the air. We are rolling. Doesn't take long before cars start to scramble and look for three. Wide now around goes Scott. Backs it into the inside wall. Brent Scott goes around. Yellow flag out again for the 6th time tonight. So the caution flag comes out once more this afternoon. Stewart and Murray still racing each other as they come down through turn numbers 1 and 2, and now looking like Blake Murray's going to get it slowed up. All of that puts on the yellow flag for the 4th time this afternoon, looking like Blake Murray may have just called it quits, as will Chris Herrera. Douglas Stewart calling it quits as well. We are dropping like flies this afternoon. All of that will lead to, as a result of all of this, Martin Plout now leading the way. We'll be back in a moment on Green Flag TV.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Green Flag TV. Ready to go. Back to Green Flag racing action this afternoon, as Martin Plout will take us into the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air. We're racing once again from Lakeland, Florida and USA International Speedway. The 14 car way up the track with a 9 down low. Ethan Amberg and Zach Hinson going double file. He got the 26 of, that's Kyle Holden. And that Drift HQ 59 just behind them, being scored in the 5. One car up into the outside wall. That's the Taco Bell machine. That is of Zach Williams. And then the 14, the 9, going side by side, and Amberg pulls clear for the number 3 spot. Here comes Kyle Holden and Zach Hinson, looking like they want to go and duke it out now. Oh, and now around goes Adarius Days and Matt Schlosser. 2 more around, and the yellow flag is out once again. So the Bucky's 81 remains on top for the time being, with nothing being able to slow them down. It's been a strong roll for them all day today. Take a look at what happened here. Schlosser just got stuffed by Days, and around they both went. Oh, that's a pretty hefty hit there for the 36 car, I think that was. Might have been. That was Zach Williams, actually the 77 car. So, pacing under the yellow flag for now the 7th time this afternoon. Not the run that a few drivers are hoping to have here this afternoon. I know that for a fact. Let's see if we can't give a quick chit-chat here, though, to one of the drivers that got involved to bring us under the yellow flag for the 7th time today. So there he is. This is Noah Rempel up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Got a copy on you.
Well, this race, it's been interesting, I think, to put it mildly. A lot of drivers are already down and out of this race early on. Kind of walk us through, though, what brought out that 7th caution there for you.
Just me and Matt trying to get into turn 4, and I think he put a little bit more angle into it. And I seen him try to brake, but just having too much speed carrying through turn 4, and we kind of spun around each other.
Overall, we've gone from having 30 cars on the racetrack at the start. We're down to about 20 cars now. Do you reckon that'll help the cautions ease off as we get deeper into the run tonight?
It should. Just the attrition rate just keeps going down, and I mean, this is a big track, but also with the amount of cars that we had on track, it's been kind of hard to kind of make moves and stuff like that. So I believe it will.
All right, well, let's get back to work. Good luck out there on the restart.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
So Darius Days with the Highlight Motorsports crew will be restarting his race in the number 16 spot, still on the lead lap after he brought out the yellow flag for the 7th time this afternoon. Martin Plute alongside Stephen Gibson Jr. At this point, a lot of the drivers that are left in this race are series regulars. There are a few newcomers, though, that still remain in the mix. Green flag up in the air. We're back to racing once again. 81 car trying to sweep up from the inside, looking for a little bit of door contact just behind the 9. Getting squeezed in the middle, around goes the 25. Heavy shot into the outside wall. Colton Easterday hard into the wall. One car getting tipped up on its side. Hinson, Easterday, both going around as well, tail of the field. That looked to be a relatively violent wreck coming down off of turn numbers 1 and 2 here. Take another look as 3 wide just doesn't work. A couple of cars getting kicked up into the air. That 15 there of Ryan Newman almost went up and over. On board with Newman. Had a front row seat. Ooh, and that almost sent Brainer around. And then, of course, the car alongside him. This was the number 9 entry. Oh, sorry, there's the 7 Adulta Pally. See him kind of ride up onto the wall and nearly go over as well. 8th yellow flag of the afternoon, and a lot of this is, again, just down to how it is to drive around these types of dirt tracks. It is no easy feat. So under the yellow flag now for the 8th time tonight. Plute, Gibson, Amberg, Holden, Kirby, Williams, and Cox. For the top 7, Hausman, Powell, and Hunter for the remainder of the top 10, and we are still not even 40 laps in. Free fly back in the air, Martin Plute taking off. Already we're looking for 3 wide as this field gets down into turn number 1. Look at Stephen Gibson Jr. for the over-under, sweeps through, picks off the number spot from Amberg, but he gets stacked up, hung up, lost all that momentum, looking for 3, almost 4, down the backstretch. The 4 of Zachary Cox giving a push to Kyle Holden. Plute out to a big lead now. Contact behind. That's going to push that 77 machine of Zach Williams way out the racetrack behind. Zedarius Days getting shipped to the inside. Continue to scream through turn numbers 1 and 2. Look out for the 4. Zachary Cox washing up from the inside of the racetrack. Gets all out of shape. Ethan Amberg dropping back to 5th now. Still side by side for 2nd. Holden pulling the move on Stephen Kirby. Slides across the nose as they get off of turn number 4. And we work lap 40. Further down the field, look at the 3 car here. Stacy Hunter trying to stay out in front of Brent Scott. Sedarius Day still in the mix of this field as well. There you see Hunter now up the backside of Matt Schlosser, trying to get down to the inside. That progressive banking, though, isn't really working out for Hunter. Schlosser hangs with it as they pull the outside of the racetrack. Further up the road, Zachary Cox and Dalton Powell under a blanket, along with drivers like Stephen Gibson Jr., Ethan Amberg, and more. And Dalton Powell, can he pull the slider on Cox here into 3 and 4? Trying to get it in a little deeper. Pretty textbook overtake there for the 7 car as he gets up across the nose of the 4. Cox and Powell, they're going to be, I think, the 2 to watch right now. They've been kind of going at it and trading blows quite a bit the last few laps. Here's Ethan Amberg, Stephen Gibson Jr., and Stephen Kirby. All of them under a blanket. Now we're starting to really get some laps in here. For really the first time all night long, we have not had too much of a chance to be able to get a good run like this in. Oh, and around goes Amberg as he'll almost catch the inside wall. Zach Williams and Colton Easterday have both had a moment, and this is what came of them. Williams up into the outside wall in 1. And across the nose gets into Easterday, and they both spin it around and nose it into the wall. 1 to the outside, 1 to the inside, and now we got a battle for 3rd. Steven versus Stephen, Kirby versus Gibson as they work the back straight away. And this is not the only fight either, as Kyle Holden has run down your race leader, Martin Plute. And now he's trying to look for the inside. The Nissan Skyline takes to the inside of the Buc-ee's 81. Can't quite clear as they work the back chute. And the 59 car down the inside. Holden should have the lead secure here off of 4. Further back, Ethan Amberg, Dalton Powell fighting for 4th, sorry. Amberg takes one away to the inside as Dalton Powell looking like he's going to drop back to 5th. Powell way up the racetrack. Kind of gets checked up against the outside wall. The 26 entry of Kirby gets in there. Cox and Brainer are looking to get into the mix as well. For the time being, it's looking like it's a relatively strong drive that we're getting here from the field. There you see Brent Scott. There you see Zachary Cox. Oh, boy. Contact. Oh, boy. Looking to go around for Brainer. Gets it to Brent Scott. They're both sideways. They both save it, sort of. About as well as you can save it. Now, Scott and Brainer in the drag race down towards turn 1. A wild kick out of the tail there for 2 of the newcomers. And Brandon will retake that spot, but Brent Scott, he's still trying to find a nose in there. Still not safe to go to the end on fuel, by the way, but we will be now as Zach Williams goes around in turn 2. Perhaps the run here was due to come to a close, and that will allow this field to come down to pit road and be safe to the end on the fuel strategy. Watch the 77 as he did that to himself. Way too much rotation. Oh, boy. Heavy hit, though, with Martin Plute. Right on board with the 81 car here. The Both had too much rotation, and man, no stopping that. The 81 car. So we're going to have at least 2 cars that are probably going to be forced into pit road here. Interestingly enough, Kyle Holden staying out. A lot of the field staying out. Might try to see if they can stretch this field out the whole way with the amount of yellows that we've had throughout the first half. Will that strategy be successful? We'll find out when we return on Green Flag TV. Welcome back to Green Flag TV, getting set to return to Green Flag racing action from USA International Speedway as the Fat Pack works its way down to the turn numbers 3 and 4. Kyle Holden with the lead of the race takes to the green flag. We are back underway. 18 cars still remain in the running here this afternoon. As Holden trying to hang on from a charging Stephen Gibson Jr. Looking like we're going to single file things out relatively quickly down the back straightaway. Stephen Gibson Jr. looking to the inside of Kyle Holden. Double file now as they get off of turn number 4 and take down the front chute. Brainer's gone around to the back, so has Sedarius Day, so has Stacy Hunter. We're still staying green for the time being, and they are still side by side for the lead of the race down the back straightaway. The Hellman's number 3 versus the Drift HQ 59. Gibson Jr. will take over the lead of the race for the first time this afternoon. Ethan Amberg will pick up second. One of the highest spots that Castrol Toyota has been so far this afternoon. Taking a quick look back on what happened here today's Brainer and more. This is coming off at turn number 4. Whoa, boy. Oh, boy. Huge up and over wreck for Sedarius Days. Past the halfway point, 55 down, 55 to go. No yellow for that car that flipped up on its side on the front stretch. Amberg to the inside of Powell. Kyle Holden trying to fend off against Ethan Amberg for the number 2 spot for the time being. You've also got Powell, Cox, and Schlosser duking it down for the 4th place spot just behind. And in fact, Dalton Powell has just gone into the inside wall. Get to that in a moment. Right now, Amberg in a big battle with Holden for the number 2 spot. Picks up the position, no problems here. Martin Plout will do the same to get around Kirby. And let's see what happened to Powell. Coming down to turn 1, no, too much rotation, I think, and a little bit of a help there for the 4 car as well, and that sends him into the inside wall. 3-way scrap for the top spot on the racetrack, and it's going to have to wait a bit longer as the yellow flag comes out. Mark McFadden getting around, facing the wrong direction in turn 4. And Stephen Kirby, they've both had issues. This is Stephen Kirby. No, sorry, this is Mark McFadden. And too much rotation gets to the side of the 39. Help down from Easterdane up into the outside wall. And then this is Kirby's wreck. He did get some help from Matt Schlosser to send him around. That was after the yellow flag had already come out. Caution flag is out for the now 10th time this afternoon on lap 61 of 110. As Kirby comes down and into pit road for service. And this will probably be just a quick splash and go to get him to the end. Again, for those that were not here for the start, we had 30 cars qualify for this race. 29 of those made the start. 18 are still running. 16 are on the lead lap. Sorry, 14 are on the lead lap. And there was set to be about 43 to start this race, but 13 of them dipped before the start of this race. Get you set to go. Back to green flag racing this afternoon. Green flag is out. Once again, hopping to it as we work down to the 1 and 2 here. Holden and Amberg side by side. Amberg up to the top shelf. Kyle Holden down low. Give it a bit of a helping hand from Zachary Cox as Cox now slides way up the racetrack. Matt Schlosser takes to the inside. Martin Plute looking for the bottom lane as well. Zach Williams around, tail of the field, no yellow yet. Once again, it's a fight for the lead. Oh, Kyle Holden trying to stuff the nose in there. No room, though. Really trying to send her up the inside. Wasn't happening, though. This is Zach Williams. Holy cow. Look at that send way down the inside and then just lost momentum. Turned by Easterday. Heavy hit into the inside wall. Now, double five for the lead. Amberg into the door. Gibson. Going to lose momentum as a result. Here comes Kyle Holden. Holden trying to charge around the outside of 1 and 2. And Amber going to hang on. One car up into the wall in turn number 2. Mark McFadden loses a bit of ground. He's caught up with the 9 to the 26. That's Stephen Kirby and Zach Hinson. Further up the field, Riley Brainer upside down earlier tonight, side by side with Stacy Hunter. Mo's race 71 making a good stride around that outside to try to pick up a spot from Brainer here. They're fighting it out for the last spot inside the top 10. Zachary Cox also under fire from Martin Plute as Plute will hunt to the inside. And the Bucky's 81 sweeps up across the nose of the 4. And now look at the drive from Zachary Cox. Back to the bottom side of the 81. Gibson, Amber. Looking to go side by side for the lead once again. Down to the bottom shelf, that Castrol 14. Tracking out with the Hellman's number 3. To the back chute, it's going to have to come down to a slide job, I think, from the 14 of Amberg. Can he get him in 4? Slides across the nose. The contact. Turn up to the wall. Contact with the wall. Now Gibson back to the inside. Amberg not going to take this one line down. Contact around, and around goes Amberg. Caution comes out. Kyle Holden gets involved. Schlosser's up into the outside wall. And a great battle comes to a disappointing end. Watch this here as Amberg tries to look for the inside. Kyle Holden's just going to get sandwiched here. Not at all the run that Kyle Holden was hoping to have. And looking like Matt Schlosser may have gone up into the outside wall. He currently runs in 3rd. Let's take a look at what happened to him. Oh boy, well that wasn't ideal. Oh! He did get into the outside wall, put up the right cock, so I think got into Kyle Holden. Holden and Gibson getting set to return back to green flag racing here. Less than 40 laps now are left to run in racing action here this afternoon. Ever since Blake Murray and Douglas Stewart have dipped out from this race, it's been pretty much the Gibson, Holden, and Plute show up at the front, and that's not looking to change anytime soon. Keep an eye out, though, if Ethan Amber can get back up to the front. This could still be a good fight for the win here. Green flag's out. Early jump from Gibson there as he takes all the way to the outside, coming down the front stretch. Well, that didn't take long. Yellow flag out quickly on this one as Mark McFadden, I think, going around tail of the field. Yeah. That's unfortunate. So we got another yellow flag real early into the run here for this one. Amberg for the outside of 3 wide. And just a little bit of contact as they went 4. And spins the 22 around. Tell you what, the guys around did a good job to miss him at least. Puts us under the yellow flag now for the 12th time tonight. We are at a dozen yellow flags this afternoon. We'll be back in a moment on Green Flag TV. And as I say that, the lights go out quickly. Holy cow, that was quick. So we are not going to take a break and be right back. We're going to come right back right away. I think we're starting to shorten up these yellows, try to get some more green flag running before the end of this race. I'm a fan. I like it. You know, shorten up everything as much as we can. Field going to come around to turn numbers 3 and 4. Green flag back in the air. We are back to it with 35 laps on the docket. Everyone really chucking the cars in deep into turn numbers 1 and 2. And yellow flag out quickly. We got to bottle out big time over in turn 2. Ryan Newman, Mark McFadden, Dalton Powell, Sedarius Day, Zach Hinson. All involved in the melee. This is right out of the gate. What could have possibly happened this far down the... Oh, the 71 just got loose up the road, and everyone just came piling in with nowhere to go. You know, it's not like on asphalt where you can just jam the brakes and make a quick flick of the wheel to duck around like you can with the asphalt variant of these cars. Now, you throw that car into a corner that deep, you are committed. And, well, I think, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We're getting these yellow flags real short now, trying to get all sorts of, well, trying to get as much green flag running in as we can before the tail end of this race. So we're going to come around to the turn numbers 3 and 4, get set to go back to green flag racing quickly here this afternoon. And we're back to it. Great jump from Gibson. Holden, Pluch, Schlosser remain in lockstep for the number 2 spot. Oh, we're already going around. Amberg involved, Gibson around. Scott's in there. And we are going to slow it down again. 14th yellow now. In rapid fire succession. I mean, good grief. Yeah, we're good. We're doing good for quite a while there. Now we're on our 3rd attempt. We haven't gotten a lap in. You're going to see this start with Brent Scott there as he kind of gets tipped around along with Ethan Amberg, and there's just nowhere to go for that poor 77 car. Tell you what, good job on the field though for getting around that relatively unscathed. Getting down to the turn numbers 1 and 2. Ooh, contact there, and just a little bit of a how do you do. Oh, boy, Easter Day. Just barely getting around that mess. Right on board with Colton Easter Day. This has put him up into 8th. Just managed to escape to the inside. That is some fine driving from Easter Day. And with that, we're going to get set to go back to green flag racing action with 29, making now 28 laps left on the docket. Can we get a green flag run in to the end? Oh boy, look out for Moreno stuffing it in firewall deep. Gets around Matt Schlosser though. And again, we go around in 1 and 2. Come on, guys. I mean, I get it. Dirt racing's not the easiest. It's not this hard, though. Now, this is getting just down to a lot of that aggression in the dying stages, and nobody wants to lift. Newman, Powell, Days, Hinson, all collected in this variation of the wreck. Serious Days stuffed it in deep, so did Dalton Powell, and everyone else behind just filed in after him. The 9 car of Hinson was really the only car that came to a full stop throughout all of that. I'm pretty sure as well the iRacing Pace truck has not stopped pacing throughout the entirety of the last 3 yellows. It hasn't had a chance to get to its designated spot yet. If this is how it's going to keep up, then yellow flags are looking likely. Stan Hausman's in a pit row. Dalton Powell's in a pit row. We're left with 14 on the lead lap and about 15 in the running. Try it again. This will now be our 4th attempt now on trying to get in a yellow flag. We got a yellow on the lap, well, let's see. The last time we went on a green flag lap was before lap 72, and we're on lap 85. It's not looking good. .25 to go. Pace truck's off. Gibson launches. We're back to green. Do we make it? Do we make it? I think we might make it through 1 and 2. Brainer, all sorts of sideways. Plute getting out with that early jump for the number 2 spot. Oh, deep into turn numbers 3 and 4. Look out, Brainer. Riley Brainer all over the racetrack. Gets into the door of the 26. Hard into the outside wall. No yellow yet, and we're going to keep it green, it looks like. Ethan Amberg making up ground, trying to claw his way back to the front of the field. Now battling Zachary Cox for 6th. And Colton Easterday might be in the mix as well, just down the order. So the 4, the 14, the 26, all of them are under a big blanket now. Up the road, Stephen Gibson Jr. doing a decent job on still keeping things relatively sorted. So it's all now a battle for the top 3 positions. Stephen Gibson Jr. leading the way. Martin Plute in 2nd. Kyle Holden in the background for 3rd. Getting down into 3 and 4. Oh, slideways. Gibson slams the door of Plute down the front stretch. Plute gets alongside, tries to slide across the nose. Gibson gets it in there. Stephen Gibson Jr. driving back to the point. Martin Plute down to the number 2 spot, still struggling. Kyle Holden is in the mix as well, just behind him. Absolutely full send right now for the 81, the 3, and the 59. And the 81 car, I think he's going to be able to keep in pretty fine order here this afternoon. Look out as Holden nearly lost it there down the front stretch. Plute, oh, gets hung up on the bottom. A little berm there. Gibson to the point for the Hellman's number 3. Less than 20 laps to go. Here comes Matt Schlosser throwing his hat into the ring. Schlosser wants to go to try to pick up another strong position. While up the road, Martin Plute maintaining his strong momentum for the number 2 spot. And don't look now, but Kyle Holden has not dropped off as much as you might have thought. He is now looking to try to apply the pressure for the number 4 position. Well, he's in the number 4 spot, looking to go up to 3rd. You see how much more worn in this track is getting now. As we enter the closing stages of racing action this afternoon. Under 20 laps remain. 4-way scrap for the win. Oh, trouble! Around goes Kyle Holden in turn 2, sorry. Yellow flag is out for the 16th time tonight. And that one came as a result of Kyle Holden just stuffing it in a little bit too deep, trying to get around Matt Schlosser there. Really went for the sand, got to the inside, just as Schlosser started to turn down, and that's going to send Holden around. Then, oh, trouble for Zachary Cox. Get a look at what happened to the Toyota Racing number 4. Wow, just lost it. Big self spin all by himself. Several cars getting wave arounds the iRacing pace car, or pace truck more like. Trying to get some green flag running in. Lights will go out and we'll quickly look to get back to green flag racing. Green flag back in the air. We will once again hop to it. A dozen laps are left on the docket this afternoon from Lakeland, Florida. Gibson pulls out with the lead. Stephen Kirby now fights his way to the 3rd place spot. Ethan Amberg is back into the top 5, and we'll slow it down. Ryan Newman this time around, and he's not the only one caught up. Stan Hausman for the last lap racing machine also around. Contact, maybe? No, this is, well, oh, wow. Okay, weird one there. Oh, boy. Heavy lick there, though, for Stan Hausman. Second ride on board, and look at how close he came to kicking that 15 car but over. Okay, so Kyle Holden got a bit loose. That's really what triggered all of this. Man, that car almost rolled it. Well, less than 10 laps to go. Getting dangerously close now to overtime territory. Looking to come to the end of yellow flag number 17. Plute will look to make the jump off of the line with Gibson alongside. Schlosser and Kirby also packed up. Pace trucks off. And we're back to it. Oh, somebody's not going. Somebody's not going. Easterday's got a problem. Colton Easterday fading to the inside. I think missed a shift, missed multiple shifts. And he's going to collect Ethan Amber. Going around. Big crash back straight away. No yellow? No yellow. All right, we're keeping it green, I guess. Now the caution flag flies. That is not surprising me. They didn't really have a choice but to throw that there. Williams, Hunter, Days, Easterday, Williams all around. There's a healthy handful of cars that got packed up there. I was a bit surprised it didn't come out a bit sooner, honestly. So Ethan Amberg just got tipped, and, well, here comes everyone else, frankly. Well, take a jump up the field, and let's look from the air. Watch the 14 of Amberg. Oh, Easterday straightened up, and that's what triggered it. Then here comes everyone. Not a lot of cars behind that mess got out of it unscathed. Six laps to go when we take the green flag this time by. Gibson opting for the inside, Plute on the outside. Six to go at the stripe. Gibson jumps on the loud pedal. We're back to green. It didn't sound like anybody got a good shift off the line that time around. Martin Plute screams through to pick up the #1 position. 3 wide with Amberg up top, Schlosser in the middle, and Zachary Cox down low. Plute easily out to the front. Zachary Cox going to pull clear that 3 wide battle from the inside. 5 to go at the stripe. Bit of contact further down the field, and we're still 3 abreast. Oh, that's not looking good. Around goes Williams. Hard into the inside wall on the front chute. Now the 71 getting hooked up with the 22 McFadden. Hard into the outside wall. Tanked into by Sedarius Days, and I think that is overtime. Boy, a lot went wrong there to cause all of that to go around. We'll start it off with Zach Williams. Contact with Mark McFadden. Sees Sedarius Days already the outside wall, and then, geez, we just could never get off of each other. Hard shot into the inside wall, and that really just kind of escalated. And this went all the way down in towards the back straightaway, and the 13 just had nowhere to go there. We have 3 attempts at overtime. If it comes to it, they might be able to shorten it up. So we'll still finish this race under regulation time. And they will. So a 2-lap dash when we get around to the green flag. Two laps to go at the stripe. Green flag will come on out for what could be the final time this afternoon. Another caution means overtime. Green flag back in the air. Blute with a stellar jump out to the point. Cox, Gibson, Kirby, and Moore trying to battle down for what spots are left. Stephen Gibson Jr. clears to the number 2 spot. Ethan Amberg looking for 3 wide, trying to get back into the top 5. Coming off at 3 and 4, do we make it to the white flag? Looking like we will. 1 lap to go at the stripe. Now in the hands of Martin Blute. Look at Gibson sending it in! Gibson going around to the inside. He'll recover. Zachary Cox, though, a mile back. Not going to be able to get there. Blute drives it in deep into turn numbers 3 and 4. They're crashing big time in 3 and 4. And it will be Martin Blute to take the victory for the Speed Winter Heat Recruitment Race. Everyone else coming across the start-finish line. Take a quick look back on what happened to Amberg, Hunter, and Hinson, along with Williams on the back straightaway here. Just all getting bottled up, and then cars going around. It was just a mess that continued all the way down into turn numbers 3 and 4. All things considered, though, could have still been worse for pretty much everybody in the field. But that is going to mean Blute takes the win on Tuesday night. So with that all said and done, let's take a rundown of your official post-race results here this afternoon. It is going to be none other than Martin Blute coming home to take the W here on a very pleasant, good afternoon here on Tuesday night, with Blute taking the W. Cox in second, Schlosser in third, Kirby was in fourth with Gibson in fifth, Kyle Holden in sixth, McFadden seventh, Hausman eighth, Brainer ninth, and Zach Hinson rounds out the top 10. From there, it was Ethan Amberg, Zach Williams, Stacey Hunter, Ryan Newman, and Sedarius Days, along with Colton Easterday being the last cars on the racetrack. With Dalton Powell not finishing this race, joining the likes of Brent Scott, Douglas Stewart, Blake Murray, Chris Herrera, Sammy Davis, Logan Dinsmore, Dustin Skinner Jr., DJ Oxford, Jeffrey Town, Andrew Rutherford, Daryl Dillon, Nicholas Hart, Brandon Ballin, and Benjamin Crook. So with all that said and done this afternoon, we're going to get the chance to hopefully give a chit-chat here to some of the drivers that brought you race in action from start to finish this afternoon. We'll just kick it off first and foremost with Martin Blute, the man that comes home and takes the win in the recruitment race this afternoon. For the driver to Collinsville, Illinois, it's a good win here on Tuesday afternoon. And, well, Martin, you had to really work for this one this afternoon, but it all came to blows with 2 laps to go, and you are able to just take a walk-off win this afternoon with that final lap. Take us through it.
Yeah, I mean, I just got a better restart than Gibson there. It was just kind of lucky. Definitely didn't deserve to win. I think Holden was by far the fastest person out here, so I think he just something happened earlier, and I think I chopped him a little bit and messed up his race, so I feel bad about that. But yeah, it was an experience out here for sure.
Of course, you are, of course, one of the big drivers that, well, helps to keep some of the lights on here for the Speed Cup Series. And you mentioned, well, it was mentioned this was a recruitment race for a potential short track league that might be picking up. Are you able to tell us any more on that?
Yeah, I think the plan is that we will start Winter Series, just kind of a fun thing. We'll do dirt and asphalt oval, I think is the plan right now with these cars. So should be starting up here in a week or so.
Well, who knows? Hopefully we'll get set to see you once again on the racetrack. Wish you the best of luck in that short track series. Congratulations on the win from Lakeland, Florida.
Thanks. See you later.
Martin Blue comes home number 1 this afternoon, and that will bring us up to 1. Zachary Cox, the Highline Motorsports driver, comes home number 2 this afternoon. And Zach, you're able to pick up the number 2 spot after it came to blows with Kyle Holden and more coming down to the final stages here. Kind of talk us through your race here this afternoon.
Yeah, so it wasn't really that competitive, I didn't think. Had a couple little run-ins with a couple people there. The track started getting really slick, but I guess it just kind of found myself in the right place, at the right time there at the end.
This race was not an easy one this afternoon. You qualify pretty much dead middle of the pack, which is probably one of the worst places you could be at a dirt track like this. How were you able to overcome all of that, though, and fight your way to the point?
Yeah, so I just got, well, I wouldn't say I got lucky. Got trapped a lap down early long. I think it was like 3 or 4 cautions that I was still getting just little bumps and zero X's, so I wasn't the lucky dog. And then probably about a little before mid-race or so, I was able to finally get a lucky dog to get back on the lead lap, and then just slowly started working my way up. Got close up there, got spun around, fell all the way to the back, and was able to work my way back up again.
We come home now to see what things are going to be coming on up next. Of course, you have that Tuesday night championship, and the Thursday night championship will look to kick up once again come February. Are we going to see you back on the track for that one as well?
Hopefully, yeah. Just a part-time because of my work, but yeah, I'll be out there racing, trying to get some wins.
Well, sounds like a solid plan. We'll see you then, hopefully in a couple weeks, when the Tuesday night series starts out. Congratulations on second this afternoon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The Toyota Racing Highline Motorsports number 65 comes home in the number 2 spot here this afternoon. We'll bring up Matt Schlosser, the last of the podium runners, into the broadcast booth. And, well, Matt, you were one of the only drivers that started in the top 10 that stayed in the top 10 all night long. So, overall, you might not have gotten the win, but you were one of the most consistent cars out there tonight.
Yeah, I tried to stay up there as much as I could. I did fall out a couple times early. I got in a crash and had to do a fast repair and work my way back up. But yeah, once I got up there, I was able to kind of hang around up there. Yeah, it was a crazy race. A lot of contact. I feel bad. I definitely dealt out my fair share and probably need to apologize to a couple people. But all in all, it was a pretty good race. Had a lot of fun and happy to finish third.
Overall, this race really came down to the wire. Cautions were being shortened to try to get as much green flag racing in as it could with that bit of an expedited program. Did that change your mindset at all from the first half?
Yeah, you kind of had to sometimes when there's a long caution, you kind of decompress. You get out of your rhythm. You have to kind of reacclimate. But when the cautions are short, you kind of get right back to it. I feel like dirt racing, it's a lot about rhythm and getting into a confidence zone, and you can stay with it more when you're doing more laps. So the quicker the cautions, the better.
And we look forward now to the championship. You've been running with the Speed Cup Series guys for a little while now. Are we going to be seeing more of you throughout the 2025 campaign?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Plan on doing a bunch of races. It sounds like they're going to do some more of these mini stock races, so I'd like to do some of those. And yeah, I definitely want to race some more with these guys.
All right, we'll get set to see you then when we go racing, whenever that may be. For now, congratulations on third, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thank you, Nolan.
Matt Schlosser comes home third place this afternoon, and well, with that is going to be about all the time we're going to have for one afternoon. But goodness gracious, a wild slugfest from start to finish here this afternoon. And there's still no doubt a long way to go as well. Of course, that Tuesday night championship going to be kicking on up too soon. If you're interested in joining, you can join them via their Discord server, and that will be found top right of your screen is www.iracespeed.com. For now, we'll get set to see you whenever we go racing next. It'll be Thursday night action for iRacers for a Cause, a charity race coming at you on Thursday night. And then, of course, the SRA Mini Stock Series kicks off from South Boston Speedway and the Sellers 150. We'll see you next time on Green Flag TV.